electoral reform, but he has re-echoed this initiative that maybe we should have all our elections on the same day. And supporting the initiative is the National Publicity Secretary of the NNPP, Ladipo Johnson, who is actually my guest for the evening. He argued eliminate the bandwagon effect, where the result of earlier elections unfairly influence voter behavior in subsequent ones. And this, especially the ones that have plagued our political system since 1999. But will holding elections on the same day be a viable solution to our from lack of transparency to voter apathy to electoral violence? Will same-day election be the one issues on this same day nationwide elections? Well, they're the questions that we're going to be asking my guests today, Laddie Johnson. Yes, Laddie Johnson, or Ladipo Johnson, if you like. We talk about this issue of same-day polls and same-day elections.
I'm doing okay. Good evening.
Thank you. So without wasting your time, let's get into the conversation. Other things. And one of the reasons you had given is the exorbitant cost of election. You believe that this is a system that will cut down the killer initiative is what we need at this time of our electoral journey. And why are you solidly behind this initiative?
Thank you. Elections, as you stated. They're so expensive, the military mobilized, the youth corpus, etc. So for every election day to revert to stagger the elections, that's mean that turnout for elections getting lower and lower, most elections, would increase the turnout at the polls. Because you find at times that people want to vote for the presidency, then they have no interest for assembly, governorship, and presidential. Then you have a larger turnout. How do we do that now, or as soon as practicable?
Support this initiative in the same capacity that you do, but Opara says that it will be chaotic, it will be cumbersome, especially because of the historical struggle, inadequacies of INEC at the moment.
No, I don't. Logistical problems, and you sort it out, and it's over. It's if you are going to have that logistical problem the next week as well, or 2 weeks after, what is the point? So I think that it would reduce what we call the bandwagon effect. Then and then you begin to see that some states just keep falling. So it's best that we all go there the same day. I vote for my senator. There'll be problems, but I believe that it will be easier.
For logistics, you believe you admit that there might be difficulties, but it's best to address those difficulties in one day rather than stagger it the way we do. But another concern that has been raised, they're preparing for the presidential, they're preparing for we adopt this system of sale to the institution. Do you agree?
No, I don't. An election at an interval of about 6 months or 2 years, they would have time to another cycle is coming around, that they're more efficient. That's one. Two, that they do not need so many people. If they don't have elections all the time, they do not need so many people. The costs are humongous. Just increased at the time when you were more efficient. I still believe that.
Okay.
Because the cost down, and INEC is one of those organizations that consumes so much from the budget.
The average Nigerian voter that is largely still electorally uninformed. They might be educated, but they do not necessarily fully grasp the concept of electoral processes and other things, that it overwhelms them. They can make wrong decisions on that day for being overwhelmed, and that if anything, this kind of system is going to allow. Do you believe that this might be the case, that it will manipulate the process to get to the voter and get them to vote against their conscience? How
for
so?
People, yes. Now, let me tell you.
Yeah.
The problem the smaller parties have, one of the problems, Now, if you have a smaller party, then at that stage, if you have elections on one day, then they pool resources together. The senator has his agents there, the agent or just two agents to protect the votes of their party. Now, where you have voting center or whatever we call it, you understand? Most of the rigging is done when you have it's easy to compromise the agents of the other party. There's no one watching. They give them some money. The person who is the police, that's usually what happens. And the police there looks the other way because they've given him something as well. So I'm telling you, if you have it on the same, it will become more difficult to read. It will.
Ladipo Johnson, who is gubernatorial National Assembly State Houses held on the same day. It will not only large extent. So I'm going to do this, trying to help the average voter accommodate this particular system. It might be a very crude shock to our electoral system. And so that's why I'm asking that the process that it entails to even enact this, do you believe that is something you think we should adopt at least for another, say, 2 election cycles?
Well, I think this is not the sort of thing you can phase in.
Hello?
Then Nigerians know. And they know that whether it's voting for the president, governor, it's done before. When I was with mine, that they decided to phase, but it costs so much money. And that is when you see the voter apathy. Anyway, I'm not going out. My vote doesn't count. And then it's best you just bring them out once instead of it disrupts society. We usually vote at weekends. I mean, on a Saturday anyway. But you have all the elections. You have elections maybe on Tuesday. On Wednesday, people leave the office. They go to work. They leave the office a cable country. Each holiday we have, each day we do not work, we will realize this. I don't know which country has as many holidays as we do. Anything, it's a holiday. Elections on a Saturday. So far, which, okay, might be less damage than it would if you're having your election. It is still disruptive. Flights to catch. People spend money. You understand what I'm saying? The economy is still flat for 2 weeks. It's not good. Forgive it, I've lost a mentality. Same thing, sorry I'm deviating. Same thing with all this nonsense, what do we call it? And it offends against the freedom of movement. Have come from those days that we now feel are normal.
Right. A lot of electoral issues to deal with, yes. Should we be focusing first on electoral reforms? And this should be the last. We're having staggered election. That is when we hear that the BVAS is not functional. There's a system. And as you have attested to, we have there's a paucity of manpower. The same limited amount of manpower that we currently have. Don't you think that it would be disruptive with that thing on the line? Are we putting the cart before the horse?
So, of the electoral reform, there's nothing law or your electoral act or what have you. So I don't think so. Look, let me tell you, I've never worked for INEC, but from where I'm standing, I'm sure it will be deeper and there'll be more, it will be ballot papers. In 2 weeks' time, I'm coming out with 2 pads, House of Assembly and Governorship. Now, it is the same manpower. You bring out the 5 pads, 5 ballot pads. You understand?
Yes.
So it isn't going to be that much. Look, in fact, it has to be debated properly. They revert to it. It's a reversal. It used to happen like that way. But this one, you know that from when it begins, even the following Saturday, the following week, They're still counting votes. They're doing economy loses. It loses.
All right.
This will make sure and force us to be more efficient, to be one before the other. I just know that we have to look at the various reforms that people have suggested. If we find them worthy, we should do that all at a go, as quickly as possible.
Lady Johnson, before I let you go, just one last question. As it stands, do you believe that those at the landscape that is willing to accommodate a change be forgotten in another 2 weeks?
Legislate as it regards something that will, I don't think they'd want to do it. And if they do it, then I'd be happy that, okay, it's feel. You understand? And if that is done, then good. I doubt if our people, that's just my opinion. And I hope I'm wrong.
We could have you live in the studio when you're back in Lagos. Thank you so much, Lady Johnson, National Publicity Secretary, NNPP. Have a great afternoon. Lady Johnson, because this morning, whilst we were reviewing the papers, he was actually named as one of those who supports this initiative, right, of same-day election. He believes that we can do everything to deal with voter apathy, because people know that instead of coming out one day, waiting another 2 weeks to come out to vote again, who I want to be my governor, I'm going out to vote for who I want to represent system that is possible. But there are others who are concerned that because of the peculiarity of our electoral landscapes that we have within our political structure. Second guest. So give me a second as I introduce my second guest, and we will be talking about here. The Supreme Court said, you know what, leave these people alone. They don't have to be tied to the account for the local government has been opened. I'll bring in my guest in just a few minutes so we can kickstart that conversation, talk about what went wrong. Now, my name is Sage Babalola. This is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll be back.
Become more and more crowded. It's time.
98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Lagos. What makes me different from you? What truly separates us? When we look beyond names, languages, us, blinding us to the strength we share when we stand as one. We must understand that the true essence of being Nigerian is with your brother and sister, no matter where they come from. Whether you are Tiv, Kanuri, Egba, Ibibio, Esan, Ijo, Urub, drop the bias, silence, and hate, and lift each other up. Let unity reign. Let love lead. Let Nigeria.
Living in a world, it's a struggle to stay alive.
There are other ways.
And development. We have made 4 to 5:30 p.m. Monday to Friday the perfect time.